Welcome! We're glad you're here and interested in becoming a KUSD New Educator Mentor. I'm going to take some time to walk you through the mentor application process. We have arranged this slides presentation around some anticipated frequently asked questions. So these are the questions we think will likely come up. They also outline some of the changes that we have made to the New Educator Mentoring program moving forward. So I look forward to hearing from you and hope that you do decide that you want to apply to become a KUSD mentor. So a couple questions that we have organized would be, first, I've been a mentor in KUSD before. Do I need to reapply? And then, do I need to participate in any additional training? Another question that we look at is, what are the expectations for serving as a mentor? How many new teachers or new educators am I going to support? What kinds of support do I need to provide? And what does the time commitment look like? I want to make sure as a mentor that I can give it my all and understand what I'm getting myself into. So a couple more FAQs here. Obviously, what's the benefit of serving as a mentor? Why would I want to actually do this? So we look at 3 key areas within that. And then, what are the mentor qualifications? How much teaching experience do I need? Professional learning and leadership experience, and technology expectations. So those are just a few of the FAQs, and I'll spend the next few minutes going through some of those questions. So, do I need to reapply is the first question if I've previously served as a mentor. And the answer is yes. We are shifting from a 1-to-1 ratio of mentors to new educators to a 1-to-3 ratio in the first year. And so that essentially divides the number of mentors that we currently have by 3. So we are going to start with a fresh slate for everybody and have this application process to make it as fair as possible. Now, I just spoke about the year 1. We also have year 2 mentors, and year 2 is kind of structured more like mentoring light. It's organized around a cohort structure. So though it says you'll be mentoring around 10 new educators or year 2 educators, the mentoring and the level of mentoring is a little bit different, and it's much lighter than in the more intensive year 1. So 3 people to support in year 1, and if you're a year 2 mentor, you would support around 10 new educators. Do I need to engage in training? So that question comes up because many of you watching this video may be current mentors and have engaged in a lot of mentor training already. And so, there's always that question, I've already done so much, do I have to really do another thing? Well, yes, but the amount of training that you're going to need is really going to be based on what previous training experiences you've already engaged in. So that'll be a part of the application process where you share the different mentoring training processes. Really, if you're brand new as a mentor, you're going to have to go through the whole shebang. If you have served before, then likely you will just need a little bit of an update, like refresher, on some of the changes and new expectations moving forward. So not as extensive if you've already engaged in training. So kind of clarifying, yes, but it's all based on where each person is. Couple of the mentoring expectations. So the number of new educators to support, as I mentioned, year 1 mentors are going to, in most cases, support 3 new educators. And the goal is that you would be in the same kind of role or position. So if you are in, say, special education, you're an elementary special education teacher, we're going to work as diligently as possible to get everybody with as similar roles as possible to make sure that the supports are really intentional and meaningful. Year 2, they're going to support those groups of 10 or fewer, and again, in the same kind of role or position, but a little bit more variances within that. So then the other question for expectations is, what are the types of support that I'm going to provide as a mentor? So a couple of different supports here. For year 1 classroom teachers, the majority of the support is going to be focused in the 3 key areas of instructional clarity and accuracy, classroom environment, and classroom management. For year 2 classroom teachers, or for year one folks that are ready to move on, because it's all about where your individual mentee is, the focus would be student intellectual engagement and successful learning. Those are the recommended areas. However, the process of being a mentor is really about knowing what your mentees need. So maybe they're year two, but they're still really struggling with classroom management. Then that's a place where we need to spend our time. The gatekeepers in instruction are really classroom management and classroom environment. So if those aren't there, we need to make sure that our teachers feel comfortable and confident with those areas. Now, I am speaking specifically for teaching teacher mentors, and this doesn't really talk necessarily about the different pupil support like counselors or therapists or anything like that. And for those groups, we don't prescribe or suggest specific areas. That information generally comes from the expectations then of the program in which you are in. So if you're in guidance counseling, then the areas of focus are going to kind of come down from that department to be able to inform the work that's going on in those sessions or those times that you're supporting your mentee. A couple more expectations here. So one of the other questions is, what are the types of supports that I'm going to provide as a mentor? So a big part of mentoring this year is going to be helping to facilitate new educator video self-reflection. Now, it's really important that you note here that the focus for most of year one and a little bit of year two is highly focused on self-reflection. So we're not talking about new educators recording their videos and sharing them with other people for feedback, but mostly helping facilitate the process of that self-reflection. There will be opportunities, though, that you will provide some feedback to the new educators on videos that they share with you through a video reflection platform. You're also going to be expected to facilitate some collaboration among your mentees. So if you're a year one mentor, you're going to have some times to meet with the three of them together so that they get that collaboration within that group. And same for year two, you'll have the 10 people together for that collaboration. Another part that's kind of embedded into the video reflection piece is that as a mentor, it is an expectation that you record specific videos that model practices that your mentees would like or that they need to see. So say one of your mentees is struggling with getting routines and procedures up and running for their guided reading. And this is a very elementary example, but bear with me. This would be a great opportunity for the mentor to record themselves doing that and kind of giving a model of that and then sharing that video with the new educator. So yes, we are asking that this is going to be all a heavy amount of recording. And I know we always get those questions, can they just come in and see me? It's yes, and you have to do the video. And if you're able to, you can do some classroom visits. But the option to not do any recording as a mentor is not on the plate. So if you are completely against video recording, this is probably not a role that you're going to be super thrilled about moving forward. So I want you to make sure that you understand that there's a heavy video reflection component as a part of the mentoring expectations. You're also going to be engaging new mentees in ongoing collaborative dialogue using the SIDME platform, so using that tool, and that's part of the training that you'll get. The training expectations then would be that mentors engage in initial mentor training that's rooted in the instructional framework. So whether if they're a teacher, that it's the teacher framework. If it's counselors or therapists, then it's the counselor or therapist rubric, and so forth. And then using the video reflection platform will now be another part of the training. Now, like I mentioned earlier, if you've already engaged in some initial mentor training around the framework, then you only have to do the new stuff with video reflection, and that's going to be fairly brief. So some of this training will occur in the summer months, and some will be during the school year. We try to kind of balance it out so that there's not a ton of extra stuff during the school year, because we want you to be able to support your new educators in the classroom. So then just kind of going through the mentoring expectations, if you want to pause the video to just take a look and read through this, that would be a great suggestion right now instead of having me talk through all of it. But it just kind of walks through, and I'll just talk about the responsibility and not so much the time. But there are some key responsibilities, and this is for year 1, which would be facilitating some monthly sessions, facilitating blended mentoring, engaging in some ongoing professional learning sessions during the year, and also engaging in classroom management modules. But this is just during your first year of mentoring, and then refreshers as needed. So it'll be required this year for all mentors because nobody's had it. And then after that, it would only be if you need to re-up or jump in with your mentees in the future. So, like I said, take a pause on this if you want, and look through the different information here if you're thinking about a year 1 responsibilities. If you want to take a look at year 2 mentor responsibilities, it's a little bit different, and you'll notice compensation is different as well because the level of support is different. Though you are supporting more people, it's a little bit more or I would say less intense, I guess. So you'll be facilitating cohort sessions, viewing and providing feedback to new teachers on their uploaded videos and artifacts, engaging in ongoing professional learning sessions, and the classroom management modules. So there's some overlap between the 2 responsibilities, but the time commitments and the number of hours to look at feedback and so forth are vary between the 2 different years. So like I said, pause if you want to take a look at this as well to kind of make sense of it on your own. A couple of benefits to mentoring. So why would I want to even be a mentor? Well, one of the primary reasons is leadership. When you serve as a mentor, this allows you to have an opportunity to serve in a formal leadership capacity, and it gives you some experience, especially if you're seeking a leadership role in the future. Mentoring is a great kind of practice gateway to be able to support the needs of adult learners. And so any kind of role, whether it be instructional coach or principal or curriculum director or anything like that, the mentoring role is a fantastic experience to give you some of that leadership experience in working with the adult learners. It also gives you an opportunity to do some ongoing learning that is not necessarily available to all teachers. So you get extra stuff that's going to help you in your own instruction or practice, and then it'll also help you enhance your mentoring. So it's a double benefit there. A couple of qualifications that we have here. You have to have an educator Wisconsin lifetime license in the area that you're mentoring. You should have some experience supporting adult learning, so this could be leading professional learning sessions, maybe you facilitate a team meeting, maybe you've had previous mentoring experience. So we do look for some kind of leadership experience. We do understand that you may not have a robust level of experience if you're brand new to mentoring, but anything that you can share about how you've helped facilitate or work with adults in a more professional capacity would be really helpful. And then you're successful in your practice. So you're consistently demonstrating proficiency on your evaluation rubrics. You're basically a good teacher. We don't want people mentoring that don't have the solid footing. And that's why we also focus on having that lifetime license, because then we know that those folks have been in the classroom for at least a few years before jumping into supporting others. The other big one, kind of alluded to earlier, is that technology expertise and comfort in using video. You're going to learn to use a lot of digital tools. You're going to facilitate some online dialogue, provide feedback to mentee videos, and record your own instruction and share with other people in the district. Obviously, it's all your choice of things that get shared, but these are some key things that need to be in place in order for you to be considered to be a mentor. So just be very aware of that. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video and learn about the process of applying to become a mentor. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email us at learn@kusd.edu. And you can also follow us on Twitter at KUSD Learn if you would like to see our updates.